Good morning, traders. Today is Thursday, January 20th. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. All right, well, we created a spike down at the end of the day yesterday, which was a little bit bearish to see. I was hoping we were going to get a trend reversal yesterday in the value area. We were going to just spend the day rotating and then pull that value to overlapping to higher, but instead, the trend remained intact, with value being overlapping to lower. So when you combine that piece of information with the spike down, it's a little bit bearish to see, okay? So the overnight just traded pretty much inside that spike. They explored a little bit above it in here and a little bit below it down here, but they pretty much just stayed inside that spike. So that's sort of the fact that we're opening inside the spike is sort of a neutral to bearish signal, but it's a little bit bearish that the overnight couldn't get back up into yesterday's range. If we were looking for a bounce here and some kind of recovery, they should have been able to at least test a little bit deeper into yesterday's range. So that is also bearish. So across the boards this morning, this is pretty bearish to me. So I think we're either looking at sideways movement today or a pull lower down. The overnight has given us two very nice levels of support and resistance to keep an eye on here. So it looks like we're going to open between them. So, we're opening with a inside yesterday spike. So we're going to see as we get some chop this morning, are we able to get above this node right here? So say get above 45, 47. If we are, we may get some continuation higher. If not, I expect we'll just chop around between these two nodes right here. And if we break below this node down here, let's call it the closing price from yesterday. So like 45.24-ish. If we break below there, I would be looking for further downside continuation. Okay. Might be a little bit of support at yesterday's low or at the overnight low, but I think we'd break on through and continue lower, with the momentum, with the trend. So really keeping a close eye on this node around 24 and this node around 44 to see what holds as support and what works as resistance. The market is open. So again, you got the base of the spike right here at 45.49, and that's the top edge of this little node of volume. So there should be some resistance in there. If the market is able to get through it, come back down and find support, I'd be looking for a long for continuation higher. But as long as we're stuck between this node and this node, I'll just be watching the market, looking to see, do we find support down here? All right, well, there you go. We're getting above the base of that spike pretty quick. So now we're going to be looking for support. Since the market pushed higher, we're looking for support as we trade back into this area here between 47 and 49. Let's go take a look at the Q. Okay, Q tiny bit stronger than the ES, but basically very similar. They were able to open above their spike, which is the least bearish scenario. Good morning, Arthur, Diego, Cyrus, Big Ray, MW, Cy Worker, The Shaw, Philip, Nicholas, Steven, Cotton Dog, San Diego Trader, Scooball, and Ronald. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining. Design Knob, David, Marco. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Marco, we might have a little counter auction to the downside as well. Yeah, the overnight was a little net long. But of course, we did not get that counter auction. At least not yet. All right, so we're coming in to test that support. Like I said, between 49 and 47 area. If that can't hold, we're probably heading all the way down here to test this support down at 25, 26. Good morning, Nor Auto Trader, Ortesas, David, Glass, Overlord, Sarza. Good morning, man. These names are getting tricky these days. Lamus, good morning to you. Danielle, good to see you. Shubaho Deep, back in the house. I am in good health, thank you. All right, so we're starting to get some resistance here. Is this support or is it resistance? It'll be an important tell for where we're going from here. Once again, my guess is if this node of volume doesn't hold, we'll need to test this one down here. Cyrus, am I remembering correctly that you don't like to use the previous day's value area high and value area low as support and resistance? That is correct. I do not. So what I would be looking at as resistance from yesterday would just be that node of volume, right? Our resistance set in right as it tried to push into where the volume started to taper off from yesterday. So I would see the volume as resistance, not the fact that it happened to be the value area. Ooh, the market's so uncertain here. Is this going to be support? Or are we getting ready to break through to the downside? Danielle, look for a bounce in crypto. Ether last summer did a 52 days low trend and then turned around. Yeah, I wouldn't put any weight onto that number of days type of stuff. But I'll keep an eye on it. Crypto's been downtrending, hasn't it? $42. It's bouncing right now. Breaking through some resistance on the daily. And ETH as well, bouncing. ETH is right at support. All right, well, it looks like the market is breaking through to the upside. So that was support. So that is a little bit bullish to see. So the next thing we got to do is get through the resistance up here around the POC from yesterday, 45.61. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to remain bullish as long as we stay above that support that we just created here this morning, right around 47. As long as we can stay above that now, we should be able to continue to grind up into yesterday's range. And we'll just figure out where we get resistance. I don't think we're going to have a reversal day, like a V-shaped recovery where it shoots straight up, but we could go rotational in here. So I'm bullish to see how far they can push it. Okay, we're testing that 20 moving average on the 15-minute candles for the regular trading hours. That often acts as resistance when the market pushes up into it from underneath. So if we were able to push through that, that would be a little bit more bullish to see. Amir, good morning to you. Greg H., what are the 3 small columns displayed? Finally, somebody out there asking the question. What the heck are we looking at? You can't be the only person here who just randomly clicked on a link on YouTube and now you're like, am I watching The Matrix? What is happening? Okay, so let me walk you through basically what you're seeing on your screen here. This software over here on the left is called Market Profile software. It's basically looking at the same information as candlesticks. It just formats it differently. So each one of these letters, you can see the letter A here. Each one of these letters represents a 30-minute time period. So it's the same thing as a 30-minute candlestick, basically. So the letters, that represents everywhere price goes. The same way a candlestick shows you everywhere the price goes, okay? So then over here on the left, the column that you see that has the little numbers and the bars, that's the volume. And that's the amount of volume that traded at each price level. So you're seeing the amount of volume that traded at this price and here, instead of the way you'd see it on a normal candlestick where it just shows you how much volume traded throughout that amount of time. So if this was a 30-minute candle, it's a 15. But let's say it was a 30-minute candle. All you would see is how much volume traded within that 30 minutes, but you don't know where on the chart it traded, at what level. So that's what this over here to the left, which is called the volume profile. That's what that shows you. So right now at this moment, it's kind of confusing. Looking at my screen, it looks like I have 2 duplicates of the same thing right next to each other. That's because we're just in the first half an hour of the day. What will happen throughout the day is these will spread out and show me 2 different profiles. The one on the left here will show me a collapsed profile. So if you look over here, these letters here, this represents all the trade that took place in the overnight last night. So this was the closing price of yesterday's regular trading hours. That's where the overnight opened. And then it traded up and down in here. It closed here, and that's where we opened. Okay, so with all these letters collapsed over top of each other, we can see where the market spent the most time. It spent the most time up in here, and then it spent a bunch of time in here, and then in here as well. And that gives us potential support resistance areas because wherever the market spends a lot of time is an area it likes to do business. So if it trades back down into that area again, what's it probably going to do? Do some business, get some two-sided trade, aka find some support. Okay, so time is very important. That's what we look at the collapsed profile for. So as we trade throughout the day, that's what this left-hand profile will show us, is what it looks like collapsed. And then the one on the right will show us what it looks like expanded out, which I'll expand this one just to show you visually. So it'll show us what each 30-minute time period looks like on its own. So we can watch kind of how the market moves throughout the day. The color differentiation on the volume profile, the dark red is the highest 30% of volume. The pink is the middle 40% of volume, and the white is the lowest 30%. All right, so it was probably mostly short covering that got us here, right? All those people who were short yesterday exiting their trades. Now it's time for new buyers to step in. If this thing's going to stay bullish, they got to keep it above the zero line here on the ticks. New buyers need to join the party. Good morning, Arthur. Good to see you. Skewball ticks look good? Question mark. They do. It's a little hard to tell. You know, this is one of those, are they trending down or are they finding support at the zero line to push higher? It's just too early to tell. Jitten, you don't have the 100 simple moving average marked yet? No, I forgot to put it in this morning. So I got rid of it. That's Ether. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh, you're right. That's the resistance. That's the resistance we're trying to push through. $45.65. Yes, sir. To the tick. Look at that. ES a little stronger than NQ, but they both seem to have buyers starting to step in. Trying to push that price up a little bit. NQ also tons of resistance to work through here. Gonna have to really grind their way through that. All right, so now that it's pushing through that resistance, we start targeting the weak references we left behind from yesterday. So the first one is at 45.7350. That is the first target to the upside. If they repair it, look for them to pull back down and test this area as support. Danielle, do you also use Delta? I don't. Just too many extra things to look at. Freddie, good morning to you. Welcome. Shubaho Deep Bulls putting in some hard yards for a charge, or for a change. Yeah, they're working through it, man. Buying every dip. Arthur, do you think bull or bears? I don't understand. I think the bulls are in charge right now. So at this point, I'd like to see the market stay above halfback, which is at 4555. If we pull back down into this node, I'd like to find support in here at the lowest. If we're going to get continuation higher today. Otherwise, if we pass back through halfback, I think we might either be going rotational, or this could have just been a little, short squeeze to set up the buyers for another push lower. So I think that halfback is a good area, 4555, to keep an eye on. $102 people watching, 43 likes. Smash that like if you want to head up there and take out that weak reference at 45.7350. Give me that thumbs up if you're a bull. There you go. Thank you for the likes and for the repair. Still one more tick for an official repair. There it is. Okay. So now I'm watching when it pulls back down. Does it find support? Next stop to the upside, 45.8950. A lot of resistance to push through in here, though, to get up there. They're going to have to grind their way up. Internals look great. Sign of new buyers doing business. Hey, Donkey's in the house. Stop playing with his monkeys just long enough to hang out with us. Good to see you, brother. Greg, the membership, the Brigade, gets you the full rest of the trading day. So as soon as the first hour is done, I switch from this to that stream, and I stay till the market closes. John, we're happy to have you, man. You come by as often as you'd like. Okay, we got a level with only 186 contracts right here at 45.70, 70.50. That needs to backfill. There you go. Pavel, good morning to you. Amir, is that your OnlyFans you're giving access to? Please share the link. Trading Donkey saying he'd short a pass back through the open. Oh yeah, me too. This area that was, now the halfback's moved up, but this area that was the halfback, 45.54, that should hold a support if we're going to trend higher today. Jeffo seems a bit extended for being inside yesterday's range. Seems a bit extended. I don't really see it that way. I see it as building momentum. Every time it pulls back, they buy the dip. So they're just kind of like stair-stepping their way up is the way it feels to me. Extended feels more like where they push up and then they come all the way back down for support and then they make another attempt and then they come all the way back down. You can literally just look at the nodes of volume. There's your stairs. First step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step. They're just like slowly but surely building it on up. Trading Donkey, such a big OPEX. I'm thinking a pop is possible. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably also pinned. Oh, a pin is possible. I get it. You're not popping something, you're pinning something. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably also pinned from FOMC. Glad I'm missing the shit show. Well, you're not missing all of it, bro. You're here. Can't be bragging about being on vacation while you're in the live stream. Yeah, options expires tomorrow. That's true. That's a big one. You're referring to the single prints below? Yeah, I see that. It's a big. We would expect the market to pull back down and find some support in here and kind of reduce the size of that for sure. It's not as big as yesterday's spike down though. Come on, market, find the buyers. Don't give up yet. You can do it. Give it a try. All right, Donkey, enjoy the rest of your day. MW. Not a lot of conviction in that song. Yeah, I was singing about being bullish as the market was pulling down, so I cut myself off quick. Lamus, good to see you. Welcome. All right, got a little volume cliff here at 45.69.75. So if that breaks, we're probably get a little bit of a pop lower. So keep an eye on that one. But the buyers are holding up the market. Come on, buyers, you can do it. Get me to the end of this song by continuing. And that big pop lower we just had, that was somebody going short with size. At market. Which just punched the tick right in the face. Lamus, are we still bullish? Yes, we are. We are still bullish. They've managed to pull the value area all the way up into yesterday's value, which is kind of a neutral signal. So what my guess is going to happen today is rotational inside yesterday's range. But for now, I'm bullish. They got the tick staying above the zero line. They got a poor high in need of repair. So I think they can make another push. Lamus is saying the probability of a higher high and a lower low on the daily candle is only 15%. Oh, because we made a low below yesterday's low. Did we, though? No, we didn't. We're just inside yesterday's range. I could very easily see us just grind around in here. Like this. Bop, 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 all day long. Markets don't go, this is something Jim Dalton talks about, markets don't go straight from trend to trend, right? I mean, of course, we've had our V-shapes in this market. It's not like it can never happen, but it's very rare. Most of the time, a market goes from trending to rotational to trending, a different direction. So having a couple days to grind around down here might be what the market needs to roll over to the upside. And as I pointed out yesterday, that's what happened the last time we visited the 100 daily, right? This looks exactly like that. Right here, down here. The way we got to that 100 daily, and then we just spent like 4 or 5 days just grinding up and down through it. Finally got back above, came down, tested, 2 days of grinding through it, and then boom, we took off. So we may just be doing that exact same dance right now. Okay, ticks are starting to break. So once again, looking for support on a pullback in here around that value area low. If that breaks, then we're heading back down towards the opening price and even lower. Selling theta, ranges are too big to play. Stop losses have too high of risk versus reward for my taste. I definitely feel that. You could always size down to mitigate the size of the risk. But yeah, I definitely hear that. I love this name, Trader McStockster. Thank you, Trader McStockster. I appreciate it, brother. I'm going to get around to making more of those soon. I've just been putting all my focus on making an e-course right now. So that's been consuming all my free time. But once I finish that up, hopefully in the next couple weeks, then I'll be back to making those videos. But thank you for saying so. All right, well, it looks like we do need to pull back down into support here. The buyers have run out. So we're going to have to dip a little to bring in some more buyers. As I've said, I'm looking at 55 and 59-ish for potential support, and I'm getting bearish if we break those levels, if we head back down into the overnight range. Or anyway, I'm getting neutral. Skewball ticks trending lower. Are they below the zero line? Yeah, they're getting there. Yeah, so you can see the buyers were running out. They were trying to fight the good fight, but they're running out. For those of you that are newer to the channel, the way we think about the markets here at Pirate Traders is we think about it as a two-way auction process. So the market is constantly looking for a place to do business. It's trying to bring in buyers or bring in sellers. So you can think about it like a store that puts an item on sale, right? They got the leather jackets. Are they for sale up here for $450, and nobody wants to buy them, so they put them on sale, 25% off. And then all of a sudden, there's new people who would not have bought that jacket at full price, who they see that 25% discount, and they just can't miss the chance. They got to have it, so they buy up at that price. That's generally the idea behind the two-way auction process, is you're just convincing people to do business where they otherwise might not have. All right, well, it's starting to give me that rotational vibe, that neither buyers nor sellers are in charge here. It's indecision mode vibe. I would say if we are going to start to trend higher, we need the C period to print and then break the initial balance to the upside. If we print the C period here in 8 minutes and it starts to get down below the B period low, I would assume that we're going sideways. James, you've been throwing these stats out for a couple days now about the number of stocks above or below their POC. Have you found any system to it? Any way to incorporate it into trade ideas? Or do you just use it as like an internal, one more taking the temperature of the market? Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention earlier when I was describing the profile. So the volume profile that's on the left over here, that is the volume profile for the entire session. So however long the market's been open today. And the one on the right that's kind of in the middle, that one is just for the current 30-minute time period. MW, no, I'm talking about James's comment. 79% above, 8% below POC. That's what I was referring to. He's talking about individual stocks. All right. Well, before we go today, I shall leave you with my analysis here. To me, the bulls are still in control, but barely. I would say the market is trying to go higher, but it's not doing a very good job of it. This resistance was already going to be very strong in here from the last couple days, and the market's having a really hard time working through it. It also had this poor high. It should have been able to pop up there and repair pretty quick, and it's failed to do so far. So right now at this moment, the bulls are still in control, but I think we're going to go rotational here pretty quick. So when we print that C period, I would look for it to stay above. Let me actually zoom in here. 61. So look for the C period to stay above 45.61. If it does, we can continue to push higher and head up there and repair those weak references at 89.50. But if it breaks that 61 level, I would be looking for rotation for sideways movement. And if we get below the A period low, I would be shorting for further downside continuation. Okay. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think we have another pullback today. I think we just rotate inside yesterday's range. But I could be wrong. So like I said, C period breaks the initial balance on the high. We're one-time framing higher, and we just we trust that trend to the upside. But if we get below that B period low, we're rotational. Okay. Happy trading, everyone. Happy Thursday. And we shall see you tomorrow morning for the Options Expiry Friday. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thanks.